Tensions are still running high in Los Angeles after days of protests in the city. Here's Josh with an update.
A lot has happened in the past 24 hours in LA. On the fourth straight day of protests against the US government's controversial immigration crackdown.
They're fighting to keep their families together and to keep the community and the indigenous people together.
Yeah, America's really scary right now, and the only thing that kind of brings us hope is being here all together.
Dozens of protesters have now been arrested, as some continue to clash with local law enforcement officers and the National Guard, while an Australian journalist has made headlines across the world after being shot by a rubber bullet live on camera yesterday.
You okay? Yeah, I'm good.
California's Attorney General also announced this.
I, in partnership with Governor Gavin Newsom, are suing President Trump,
accusing Mr. Trump of escalating an already intense situation and acting beyond his powers as president by sending in National Guard troops on the weekend. But Mr. Trump says they're needed there to keep some of the protests from spiraling out of control.
They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job.
The US government also announced it would be deploying about 700 Marines to LA until more National Guard troops get there. And people across the country are watching closely to see what happens next.
If you're a fan of Blueberries, well, I hope you're also very rich. A regular 125-gram punnet has been priced as high as $9.80 in supermarkets in the past week, and growers say prices could stay high for a while this year. That's because there's a shortage of blueberries due to last month's torrential rain in northern New South Wales, impacting developing fruit that would normally hit the market in the next few weeks. Now, how do you reckon you'd go if your teacher spoke in a different language for half of your classes? Well, that's the case for these students at a bilingual school in Melbourne. Aidan took a look.
This school's probably a lot like yours.
I love doing the reading lessons.
I love maths.
And homework and drawing and everything. And free time.
But there's one big difference. It's bilingual. That means that half the lessons here are taught in another language.
Half of the week we have Chinese and the other half we have English.
This kind of setup is popular for families who've moved here from another country, so kids can stay connected to their culture.
One of the languages is the same language as my mum's family.
But experts say bilingual schools are also becoming more popular for families who don't speak another language at home, because some parents reckon there are a lot of benefits to learning another language.
Take Asia or Europe, for example, kids pretty much are born learning two languages. It's just really difficult here in Australia. It's not as easy.
And these guys say, while it can be tough sometimes, the hard work pays off.
It was very, very complicated on how to say the words and write the words. And now it's very, very not complicated.
It's really good because it challenges you more.
It's like I know how to speak every language in the world.
Now it's time for some stories that'll send chills down your spine. Not because they're scary or anything, but they're just a bit cold. First up to the town of Orange, which isn't looking very orange right now. It's looking pretty white. It's one of several inland towns in New South Wales which have just had their first snowfall for the year. Some locals have even taken to the streets for a spot of skiing. Ooh, that looks like fun. Now to London, where some weird ice cream flavours are getting served up. Sriracha, pickled onions, even olive oil. They're all on the menu at this pop-up shop.
I tried the gravy flavour. That one was, I actually prefer that one than the sriracha.
The shop was started by a luxury handbag company who have run the pop-up shop every summer for 4 years now. And finally, to a penguin on the pitch. Hang on, that's not a penguin. He's just walking like one. That's him. At a baseball game in the US, Pepe the Penguin made the trip down from his home at Brookfield Zoo for a special appearance to mark World Ocean Day. But just before his debut, he apparently had a bit of a nibble of one of the commentators' fingers.
Pepe got a little too comfortable with my ring. I think he thought it was a fish. Thankfully, no finger taken off. But it was definitely a close call with our guy Pepe.
Well, that's all from us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.